The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Doing today. Now, a lot of things we're going to cover. My name is Ray. Last name is Reynolds. Write it down. I got the nickname The Godfather of Credit beyond KNX Radio for the last 49 years. There's a lot of experts out there, and I don't think they're really experts, unfortunately. They might know a little piece. Let's give you the whole pie. All right. You see, I became a millionaire and billionaire at 26 and at 14 and a half years old through corporate structure. You might want to pay attention just a little bit today. Our topic is rebuilding your life while you're in debt using a corporation, balancing the debt. So, and again, no pictures, no recording. I need you to put it in your head as a mindset. When you write things down, your brain records. So let's understand goodies. You like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, race boats, goodies, and mansions? Well, so did I. But when I got born, I was born in a taxi. She didn't want me. She threw me in a trash can. Kind of sucks. So let's understand, your journey today begins with me. But will you listen? Will you learn? Will you follow through? Ultimate goal. You got to realize one thing. If you want something bad enough, you're going to go get it. But if you're not willing to do the work, nothing's going to happen. In this world, half the people are lazy. The other half have to see it, believe it, go get it. So as we play this game today, we're going to teach you how to win, if that's what you want to do. Ultimate goal. Draw the diagram in front of you. I want you to think about something right now. It doesn't matter what city or state you live in. You watch empty banks that file bankruptcy on locations, grocery stores in some cities. How do they do that? How do rich and famous people get rich and famous and not pay tax? You see, the problem is most people didn't learn how to play the game. I look behind the curtain, and well, that's what I did. I want you to think about Bank of America. They have bankrupt 6,000 locations so far over the years. That means they bankrupt a location. Listen very carefully. Corporation, parent company, has another corporation called a subsidiary. That means they own that branch number. They signed a 100-year lease. And what do? They bankrupt the lease, take the assets and the money, and write off in their taxes. See, they made a business decision, and you as a consumer, we the people, you didn't make a decision for you and your family. You brought the pain home because you know the rules and tools. And that's just the truth. There's no reason to bring the pain home ever, but let's understand how to play. Chase, all right, U.S. Bank. Wells Fargo, the most indicted bank on the planet, should have been put out of business years ago. They're a bunch of crooks. What can they say? Sam's Club, Walmart. Next thing we look at Geico. Warren Buffett's company ran out of California years ago. We look at cities. We want to play the game. So let's understand about you. Every time you play a card game or a board game, what do you play to do? Win. If you had a life like that, you wanted to win, you wouldn't settle. You wouldn't just get by. You wouldn't be lazy and sitting there going, what do I do next? So you're going to have to learn to play. First goal in life, never bring the pain home. Stop bringing the pain home. That's your first goal. Easier said than done. I'm going to make you a certified CFO. I'm going to teach you how to play the game and win. Ultimate goal, change your brain into a mindset to millionaire status. So what do we have to do? We have to look behind the curtain. I got to be with Mrs. Hope, the she-devil from hell, as a kid. From the age of 3 to 9.5 years old, she dropped me off Redondo Beach Pier every morning at 6:30. Very simple. She'd roll down her window and say, if you're not here at 5 o'clock, I'm going to leave you there to die. These are rich and famous Hope family people. I ran into the pier. I got caught. The man says, take out my trash or I'll call the police. I was 3 years old. Eating out of a trash can. Nobody gave a you-know-what about me. Take out the trash or go to jail. I take out the trash. I was known as boy, clean the chum bucket. Boy, take out my trash. Tony's on the pier. I knew all the owners, every restaurant, everything they did. I'd go to Palos Verdes on the weekends and shove cow and what? Horse manure. I was hustling for money. One thing I noticed on the pier, Marina Del Rey, Torrance Rocks, Palos Verdes, and Rat Beach, they had money. I've studied every rich and famous person since the day I could walk. All right, I wanted to get out of hell. I was motivated. I think you settle, and I think you follow ducks and sheep. So let's teach you to play my way for a while. Now, first of all, your personal credit. If you jacked it up and it sucks, you backed yourself in a corner, you drop your score, you can't get any more, and you haunt your house. I call that stupid. And you're not stupid. What you did, it was stupid. All right, let me give you solutions you should have known since day one. All right, listen carefully. Every card you get should have a sticky in the back. You write down the limit of the card. You maintain 25%, always, never past 29%, period. I designed the system years ago, training Ken Yarbrough. If we do this on these cards, these two don't fluctuate. These are the two you would jack up $1 million friggin' bucks, as long as you maintain a payment. Your score would never go below 750 score. But now, because you don't know rules and tools, and most of you screwed it up, what are you going to do now? You have to learn to balance your debt. Go back in history. TRW, Thomas Raymond Warridge. TRW. All right, the report's wrong. They were bought out in 96. When I drew the first one of these, it was simple when I was training Ken Yarbrough. security chief of TOW in Hesperia. I said, good, fair, or heck no. So if we do this correctly and you balance the score, you'll have a 750 the rest of your life if you pay attention. Now, take a picture of those cards. Get your damn camera out, take a damn picture. Okay, I am pushy, I am direct, and I'm going to tell you what to do. And it's about time you follow through, period. Every one of these cards here, these are supply and credit to a corporation. Dun & Bradstreet has a fast track program. I wrote it years ago. So if we understand, if I build a Dun & Bradstreet DUNS number, I get the references and the credit, we're going to turn these suckers into cash credit. You see, most of those you don't have to guarantee. Let's pretend you're over here and all jacked up and screwed up. What are we going to do? Debt consolidation? BS. It's a piece of crap. It ruins your credit. I don't care if anybody says it ruins your credit, period. Okay, what do you do now? File bankruptcy and make it worse? If we do what I tell you to do and we balance this, we get a bunch of cash. What if we get $25,000 to $50,000 of cash credit to the corporation and the divisions too? Why don't we take this and turn it into basically supply to cash credit? Now watch. Every one of these sell Visa gift cards. Through a system I develop, we can run the card and get you the cash in your bank account, use it the next day. All you have to do is balance your debt. See, until you balance yourself, you're not getting anywhere. You're stuck. It sucks. It's like if I sit down with you or go with Zoom or on a phone. You and I are going to blueprint you my way. I brought in my first $1 million at 14 and a half when I invented Car Finder. I brought in 2.6 billion at 26 to corporate structure. Okay, so you better pay attention. All right, unless you want to just go back to your same rerun. Past, present, and future, good, bad, and ugly. A corporation, the family, the divisions. From there, irrevocable trust. We have to plan to die because we have to plan to live. And your problem is you didn't plan the problem. Every time you get your assets kicked, you didn't plan the problem. Car. You're driving a car. You're the registered owner. I mean, that is the stupidest thing you could do because every time there's a bumpy bump, they're going to sue the registered owner, which is you. They're going to take everything you got. Kind of sucks. Car should be a division of a corporation. Oh, you bought a house? Oh, goody for you. It should have been escrow, close, homestead, trust. Everything I do is rules and tools, period. Okay? Escrow, close, homestead, trust. You forgot the homestead, you forgot the trust. When they see you, they take it away. Your family, they're going to get diddly squat. So understand something. The house, very simple, should have been bought through the trust in the first place. When I look at residual income, auto income, what I put in my book 46 years ago. All right, financial freedom, cash flow, free up your time. Simple. So if you ever want me to blueprint you, let me know. It take about an hour's time. And if you have a partner of life, I want them on that phone call with me too. So let's understand, ask yourself some questions. Do you want to enhance your income or replace it? It's that simple. Enhance or replace. It's going to be up to you as we play the game to win. You're going to have to get your hands dirty. You've been hiring CPAs and attorneys or these experts out there going blah, blah, blah. All right. And they don't have all the pieces and they get stuck every time. What if you and I, from beginning to middle to end, I don't let go until I'm done? Would that be okay? That means you're going to have to learn to play the game and get your hands dirty. That means you have to learn how to do things on your own versus hiring silly people to rip you off anyway. Now, I like to make you a certified CFO. I like to build a corporation and $1 million of credit, 3 divisions. Simple. See, we're going to focus on chapter 18. You ready? Now remember, no pictures, no recording. Make your notes, put it here. A corporation is a legal person. It's right there. Supreme Court says a corporation is a legal person because the United States of America incorporated cities and states. Now, I learned this at 7.5 years old listening to a poker game. I rode my bicycle down to the Torrance Police Department. Next door was a library. I said, "Ma'am, what does this mean?" She walked away. She was rude. 5 minutes later, it's, "Here's a mock of his book." She was a I read the book. You've been reading the books too. But I got a millionaire at 14 and a half, double billion is 26. Why the hell didn't you? What's wrong with you? Are these not turned up or what? All right, don't give me an excuse. No one taught you. I had to teach myself how to play and create my damn blueprint. There's no excuse for you. You should have got off your assets and looked behind that curtain all along. May sue or be sued. Very simple to do. So let's understand something today. I was 9.5 years old But I finally got the guts to send away $10 money order to the Secretary of State of California. I found out corporations were free. Can you imagine how many stupid people pay thousands of dollars to some idiot attorney and CPA? All right, and get a corporate, don't learn till he squat. They're all damn free. I've given away for 46 years. Very simple to do. You just pay your filing fee. Now, I'm the founder of Helping Hand Industries. I got $100,000 of credit cards that came in the mail. I was 9.5. Credit cards came in the mail when I was a kid. All right, this freaked us all out. I ended up getting 53 million of credit cards. I got book after book after book, having fun. So let's understand something. Some of you got credit cards in the mail in the 70s and 80s too for free. Then a bunch of idiots in the 80s and 90s start using their SSN. Talk about screwing it up for the world. Now understand something. I got me named in the movie Dave. Now I screwed up too. I was 12.5 years old when I started the Orange County Blind Center. I used the word Braille. I got named in a lawsuit because the Braille institution owns the name Braille. So what do? Never bring the pain home. If you don't let me rebuild you, what are you going to do? Have the same rerun and keep going? That's all, folks. Understand something today. I'm online 6 days a week. I go classes on Wednesday. Tomorrow I got 9 classes from 6 in the morning to 5 o'clock the afternoon, and they're always live. Now let's say you go to court. Well, goody for you. When they sue the corp, they sue you. I mean, come on. Your corporation is on the Secretary of State's website. Your name's there. You're the incorporator. You're the officer. You're a duck and a sheep. The moment they sue you, they're going to screw you up. But if you had a corporation and division process that I invented in 85, 86, they're not going to bring the pain home. So you got some choices today. So what do we get to do? Very simple. We're going to put our ducks in a row, and we're going to never bring the pain home again. Is that okay? If we look at a checklist, everybody should have a goal list. We have our goal list. Okay, then we have our list of things to do. It's simple. We have a daily list, a weekly list, and a monthly list. Without the list, how are we going to get there? But then who's going to answer your questions when you get stuck? Or what's the next step? I will. Please tell me. Please tell me. I have total recall and an IQ of 203. Please challenge the hell out of me, because this stuff since I was 10 years old is freaking boring. Okay, making $1 million to billions, easy. But again, I got a foolproof program not to screw it up. Made a promise to myself I'd never have a wife and kids unless I had a foolproof program and didn't screw up, bring the pain home. When I created my blueprint system, all right, very simple. I got 29 billionaires now. I got 31 millionaires from 0 to million. So what do? We blueprint. And then I got a wife and I got 6 kids and 10 grandkids and 1 on the way. So what do we get to do? Our first thing is we have to understand how it works. So let's think about the biggest mistake people make. They don't bother to look behind the curtain. They don't take the time to learn. You signed an SS5 form. That's got you the SSN. If not, you were born in 71 and mommy did it because Nixon took the gold standard out. That creates a 1040 tax return. You get 1 chance. That's why most people are screwed up. It's we the people. You get a number. We look at the SS5, we compare it to the SS4. We dissect the SS4. The only file and the only form that the IRS ever created for banking and credit purposes was the SS4. Your personal credit, you're not supposed to use for ID, basically SSN for ID purposes, period. It's on the damn card. But you violate the rules because you don't know how to play. Right there it says legal name of entity, individual person. Put your hands like this. This is tax, and probate when you're dead. The time of death at the hospital is for the state and federal government, because you can't take your stuff with you when you're dead. They want to make sure your friends and family don't steal it too. They want to get their cut. So what do we look at? Line 1, legal name of entity or individual person. I can put your name there, corporation, division, or subsidiary. Banks and grocery stores file bankruptcy in locations, but separate tax IDs and branch numbers. Now, if you don't file tax returns, you're just a crook. Go to prison like Wesley Snipes did. 3 years in prison, $5 million fine. He listens to his idiot attorneys and CPAs in Beverly Hills, California. Ruin his life. It's up to you. So I'd like you to write down irs.gov. Can you do that for me now? irs.gov. I'll write down 1244. We, the people, have the right to master the rules and tools and we're allowed to file one single tax return with us and our corporation and almost not pay any tax for the first 3 to 5 million. Would that be okay? Because the United States of America incorporated states and cities, they even planned the problem by filing and basically creating a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. Our system created a Chapter 9 bankruptcy in case they have an old shit day. And they bankrupt the dead state business in front of you. And what do? That's about it. Isn't it time you find out we the person? So we could stop bringing the pain home in the first place. We never had to do it in the first place too. Simple. Let's write down division of me. Write it down. Write down division of me, which means you, not me. Okay? Let's understand what happens. Let's say you master the division process that I invented in 85, 86. Line 1 right in front of you says legal name of entity or individual person. I can put your name there, corporation, division, or subsidiary. I can build a corporation with $1 million of cash credit, use that money to finance the business, and write it all off at the same time. Because, all right, borrow money is not taxable too. We get to play the game. Now, a closet division. 2009, all right, my wife wanted to take one of our yachts in the backyard with a group of people, and I died the next day in a coma. Well, that sucks. What am I going to do? My wife and my kids were homeless too. All this BS out there. Simple. I sold my wedding ring, my Rolex, my necklace, my bracelet. I took my 3 divisions of me, write down 3 divisions of me. I took my 5 closet divisions, and I built $1 million of credit in 6 weeks. You see, credit is what saved my life to rebuild me every time. Now, you file bankruptcy, you have shitty credit, you brought the pain home. What are you going to do? Win the lottery, get a raise? Do you think someone's going to really help you? You're the person that helps people, and when you need help, they just don't show up. It's like they can't. There's an excuse. You ever notice that? If we take this form right here and put your name on line 1, we can create a division of you. We can create, with that division of you, can basically buy a house, a car, and all kinds of goodies. You chose to use your SSN for credit purposes, nobody else. You follow ducks and sheep. Now, if you do something, anything goes wrong, what do you get to do? It's simple. We get to do the 3-step I invented: disconnect, isolate, incorporate. Because you didn't choose to have multiple chances to try, you brought the pain home. I'm sorry, I call that silliness and stupidness. See, we're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as used to be. And the lack of knowledge is the stupidity of man and woman. People aren't stupid. Most of them just freaking lazy. So the bottom line is you get to learn to play the game. And of course, now you're not lazy because you're here, so thank you. You don't need to be stressed out, and you get to play. So that means a division of me, I can buy, I can build credit, I can buy a house, all right, and I can buy a franchise. Like every bank and grocery store does. Why would you ever allow yourself to be one? All right, that brought the pain home, and that sucks. So we get to play the right way, my way. So as we do this, if you ever want me to set up a division of you and all these pieces, it's $1,000. All right, no problem. If you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself too. Good luck with that. It's a Zelle only, RW and Zelle, Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@raisecredit.com. Because if we're going to rebuild you here, let's get one of these going so we can do it simultaneously and get you past go. Problem is most people are stuck. So what do we get to do? Division of me. So let's understand, this is one of the cars in the car collection. It's a $1 million Lamborghini. Here's the key. So when I got this car, first of all, the payment is $6,800 a month. Okay, what do I get to do? Now, if I can't pay it, now understand, I wrote the book on basically laundromats, dry cleaning, my 22,000 payphones, my storage units, and all these other things years ago. So I got all these things in the commercial real estate and all the things that are making money. I like the money, but all of a sudden I got a problem with the Lamborghini maybe. I can't afford the payment. What do I do? Well, since I bought it to a division, I guarantee it as a division, I can do the 3-step. That means I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and put it over here. I tend to screw it up. But in 6 months, if I can't save it under the Federal Protection Act, I'm going to bankrupt the hell out of it and keep my other pieces. You didn't give yourself pieces. Why? Why didn't you break it down into pieces? And the only excuse you could ever give me, nobody told me, Ray. I've heard that for 46 years. To me, that's just a BS answer. You should have got off your assets and looked behind the curtain. You sign a lease of a building, it's a division. You put properties in divisions because you separate liability because you don't know which one's going to slip, fall, and sue you and screw you up. Very simple. The money. The IRS creates a form called SS4 to receive the money so you don't pay any tax till you're profitable. Isn't that fun? The Fair Lending Act, you have 12 acts to look at. One card is entitled to 99 more. How many would you like? Your problem is you jacked it up and got stuck to start a business. And you can learn how to play. And that's on you. I've been teaching or preaching for 49 years. Where the blank have you been? You got a corp today? Look it up online, please. I dare you. Look it up online. Find your corp, find your name, officer's list. You probably use your home address too. That's called stupid. Now you add yourself to the national mailing list and the robocall list too. Change it to a mailbox, etc., shared offices, please. Because the reality is you got to put your ducks in a row. When they sue that corp right now, they sue you, and that sucks. You didn't build your line of defense. Why? Why didn't you build your line of defense? See, you don't get goodies like this that I obtain all of that till you hit about $10 million. And we play. Want to play some more? Simple. So let's understand. I add you to my credit system. I show you how I got properties on all 5 islands and this $1 million, $5 million mansion too, because you got to have all your goodies in your backyard. And from there, you don't have your time. I mean, come on. You're running through the day. You barely get through the day. You're just having the same rerun all the time. Nothing's changing. You're trying to get little pieces to change your life. Tomorrow morning, you get up at 2:25 like I do every day. 2:25, ready to go and kick some ass at least an hour or two at least. Find your me time. Now, I'm 17 and a half. I got 19 houses. They told me I can't get number 20. They told me no. Ah, what am I going to do? Every time I hear no, it just means I don't know how to do it. So I decided to put in my divisions. I freed up my loan to value to get number 20. But then I found out the buyer is a liar, the agent, the broker too. And they hired the contractor that hires the subcontractor that stands outside Home Depot. Hell, they're all trying to steal my money. It sucks. So I decided at 21 years old to be the bank. Why didn't you be the bank? What's wrong with you? Why didn't you be the bank? I don't understand. When I sold my first car, pay attention to this. I sold my first car. All right. They gave me a down payment. The person who bought the car, they're going to go to their credit union for the loan. No, thank you. Hey, I got a corporation I work for. One of the divisions gives out loans. They're going to carry the paper for you. So I got my down payment. All right. I put a GPS, and I invented Car Finder as a kid. Isn't that fun? And then all of a sudden, they get the money to me, and I pay the loan. I made $413 a month. All right, for 7 years. Not a lot, but did it add to the monthly money I needed? See, when I was 17, I needed $1,000 a month. I wanted auto income. That's what I put in my book years ago. So I got 413. Now, the first house I sold, I did the same thing. They gave me the down payment. My division carried the note, and I financed it for 30 years. What the hell's wrong with people? I don't get it. You could have been the bank since day one. Are these cleaned out? Are they open or what? So let's take an apartment complex. Let's dissect that sucker. We can actually do assignment of mortgage. Could you imagine assignment of mortgage? You're the bank for 30 years. And if you get in my real estate system that did billions in real estate, financial system, buckets of money, tax balance, and be the bank, you learn assignment of assets. You see, it's very simple to play. I'd like to make you a money-making machine if you allow me to. So let's think. Those goodies at $10 million a bus. Now let's understand God's gift, the mansions in the harbor. My problem is I had my race boats and yachts and everything on all the islands, other properties I have. Kind of sucked. I needed the largest U-Dock in Huntington Harbor. It took me 3 times to get the house that I wanted. I put my yachts in the backyard, 3 of them, race boats, Duffys, and all kinds of Sea-Doos, and had some fun. What you want in your backyard? Well, there's the race boat. There's one of the yachts. Oh, even there's the Duffy too. See, I like the big buildings and the Lamborghinis. I think most people are full of, I like to just teach it from beginning, middle to the end, to be honest with you. I like you to get stuck with me until you get to Maine or at least. But again, I like Lamborghinis. Now, helicopters and buildings too. Now, I got no excuses, but neither do you. All right, every time I hear someone say white man can't jump, that's funny. There's me in 1981, highest kick and fastest kick on planet Earth. My assets were higher than 6 foot locker, and my foot kicked the damn light. I got a scar here. That sucks. I kicked out the lights that night when the Guinness Book of Records pissed me off. And I basically, no matter where you come from, you can accomplish your goal. There's no excuses for you, by the way. All right, so when you hear no, say thank you, walk away, and let's find a way anyway. No means they don't know how. You have 1,000 steps to the Millionaire's Founders Kit. I sold it at the Bonaventure for 32 years, every Wednesday night for $5,000 a set, full blueprint for a millionaire. From there, there's that diagram for the banks and grocery stores. If they can do this, you can do it too. But your first goal is very simple. Stop bringing the pain home. Become a certified CFO and reprogram your brain to millionaire status. Now I was 9.5 at the Torrance Library. And you know what I did? They thought I was retarded because I wrote with both hands and talk at the same time. It's very simple. I came up with a blueprint. When I was 9.5, I called it See It, Believe It, Go Get It. It actually works. So you can see it, you can believe it, you can go get it too. Now, if you don't have a corporation, I'll hand you one for free. You will pay your filing fee. And then we're going to play in class and we're going to have some fun. So we'll get a corp. If you have one, we'll just teach you how to play more. I'd like to basically stop bringing the pain home, teach you how to do that. Put your ducks in a row and repackage your life my way. Because I think your way sucks. Just my opinion. So if we look at the rich and famous and presidents of the United States of America, Lakers, Clippers, Dodgers, and Angels, and all the people, I was known as the Incorporated for Rich and Famous People for years. They listen better than most of you. What you do is simple. You have a kitchen table meeting. Honey, we're going to start a business. Let's jack the suckers up. Let's drop the score. Let's get stuck. Hell, let's not get any more. And let's hawk our house being stupid too. Sound like you? Yeah. See, your problem is you. Why do you bring the pain home? Never bring the damn pain home. You gave yourself one chance to try. As long as you're trying, you're not dying. If you're not trying, you might as well be dead. Your choice is pretty simple. You write down today's day, you project 90 working days. And that's the goal to get where we want to go. So what do we look at? The Millionaire's Founders Kit. I wrote that book and everything else in that series at 46 years ago. Page 6, paragraph 3, cash flow for your time. Here I'm dead. That sucks. Ruined my whole day. Can you imagine? You're taking people on the fireworks and the next day you're in a coma. Your wife tells the people at the office he's going to die. Ron goes to steal my books and CDs. Tom sells my website and my phone numbers to a porn site. Don't call the phone number, please. But again, guess what I got to do? I got to come back and help you. So let's look at the SS5 you didn't pay attention to. That's why I got your SSN in 1040. Then we're going to compare that to the SS4 or the IRS, the only form the IRS created for credit and banking purposes in the first place. Banks and grocery stores file bankruptcy on locations. Line 1, legal name of entity, all right, individual person. So if we take the rules and tools and master them and pay attention this time, what do we find out? That says banking and credit purposes. Per entity. Per entity. Why did you not give yourself more than one chance to try? Corporations only allowed to do 4 things. Buffer tax, corporate credit, car fleet price, stay at the hotel, get the free buffet. Divisions are the line of defense. They're cheap, they're multiple functions, buy at wholesale price, multiple credit reports, and separate liability. See, the problem you got is you're the duck and sheep. We want to change that as a division process. Divisions give you the line of defense. We can build a corporate umbrella and $1 million cash credit. And what do we get to do? We get to get the goodies that I want to give for you. I like the $100 million building, the $1 million Lamborghini, $5 million mansion, and race boat for $1 million too. But again, all we have to do is start analyzing it today. Analyze it today. Do the rapid refresh that I invented 40 years ago with Ken Yarbrough, Harold Stokes for mortgage companies too. Push the score up, up, and away. Create possible, all right, green lights too. Simple. Now, you have a couple of problems. First, you're on the national mailing list. All right, I'm a voter, probably you too. They sell that 412 times a year. All right, Cable Bill Corporation. Call 888-567-8688. Opt out for 5 years or a lifetime. Get off the national mailing list, the robocall list. The number's right in front of you. The ultimate goal. From there, what do we got to do? We have to plan the problem. So if we plan the problem, we can understand, be prepared. You had a friend and family member rip you off, and you spent thousands on crap that didn't work. If we take my rules and tools that I've been teaching and preaching for 49 years, you put a sticky in the back of the card. Limit the card, maintain 25%, not past 29%. We will build a line of defense. We will take what I basically designed years ago, and all the dashboards, 0 to 29 is green, 30 is yellow, 50 is red. We can balance our debt and quit bringing the damn pain home. But again, what do we have to do? Some of us are in debt. We have to figure out how to get out of that too. We have to look at the cards that use the 29% rule, all of them but 2. And the 2 that do not is the gold and platinum cards. We can max them out $1 million as long as you pay on time. All right, you can maintain a 750 the rest of your life. That way you don't have to worry about your credit going down ever again. From here, those are the ones you focus on. If you're jacked up over here, we get these, we build them under Dun and Bradstreet and all the other pieces. And our goal is to basically get all those limits from $5,000 to $10,000 and turn the supply into cash. We're going to balance the debt and take that literally to reduce your debt over here and basically go back and forth. Hey, life is steal from Peter to pay Paul to make Mary happy. As long as you have no intent to do fraud, you can balance your debt. Next thing is you lose your job, have an emergency. What do? Everybody does the same silly thing. They jack up their cards, they run out of time, and they go boo-hoo-hoo in about 42 days, and they run out of time. So what do we do right? Let's understand how to play. Let's pretend we're really listening tonight. This is a $5,000 card in my hand. All right, let's say I need $5,000 now. I go ask my friends, my family, the bank. They all say no, because you said you need it. The average person wastes $50 every other day. This card is $50 a month. The average person wastes $140 a week. That's $600 a month. If I take $50,000 off of a corporate credit card, I can write it off interest rate and credit card too. What do I get to do? Buy 4 or a couple pizzas with a drive-through. There's auto income again. During the pandemic, using some common sense. White men do jump. Nixon took the gold standard out in 1971. You don't understand your SS5 form, but you will when I'm done with you. Let's write down Ray's rules. And let's write down I'm willing to sacrifice a division, not a corporation and not my family. You've been sacrificing you and your family long enough. I have no intent to do fraud. That'll get your cake and eat it too. Become a certified CFO, all right, and literally become, all right, and never bring the pain home again. Your goal is to play it the right way to win. The ultimate goal is very simple to do. As we play this, there I am dead in that coma. The hospital took a picture. Google the address, find I'm telling you the truth, because it will set you free. Been in 2 comas so far. One, I was crippled. All right, Jesus said, get up, I got up. Last one, literally, I got to die and come back and help you. All right, the devil's trying to hold us back and knock us down. But God's delays aren't God's denials. So understand, the goal is to repackage every one of you. So if we do this like Humpty Dumpty, we're going to basically do that blueprint call and rebuild you step by step too. So I'm here to help people if they want help. That's why there's always 800-254-9506. Now, if we're going to look at basically auto income, that's what I put it and I named it as a kid. All right, literally, I called it auto income at 17 and a half. I need $1,000 a month. Then later on, they call it residual income, passive income. I don't care. I got to 100,000 a day, then $1 million. 3 months program, 6 months, 12 months. So you could play with me for this year to go after a $5 million goal. From there, if you wanted the 6-week program. And what are we going to look at? I want you to focus on different types of businesses that I've always done, that I don't want to run the business. I've never wanted to run the business at all. All right. And this is all the companies that I set up all the time. I just want the money coming in, the bills being paid automatically. I haven't had a paycheck for 31 years. I guess my system works. What do you think? The goal is to get that 100,000 a month coming in. So if we play, what's a corporation again? It's a legal person. What do we look for a division to do? Line of defense. So if we have these companies out there managing and one goes bad, what do we get to do? Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. Banks and grocery stores, rich and famous, do it in front of your face all the time. The tenant, what if you have a bad tenant? Remember, divisions create cash and supply credit. What are we willing to sacrifice? A division, never the corp and the family. What have you been sacrificing? Family and you. Not acceptable. If you allow me to get a tax ID, my system allows me to set up a Experian, Trenu, Equifax under tax ID. Our goal is to go get some corporate credit. line you up for checkbook money. That would be the ultimate goal. And that way we can get that money to get into an escrow to buy a business. From there, divisions give us what? Line of defense, also multiply credit. It's like anything else. In my book called Buckets of Money, my first matrix, because I had that $53 million of credit, they started to shrink some limits. It scared the crap out of me. So I decided to loan out money under C-191D as a private lender. So what did I do? I created a matrix. It took me 18 months to do this one. This created me literally 41 divisions and $190,000 a month income. Is that a good income? What do you think? I wonder why I got to 2.6 billion corporate structure when I was 26. It's kind of fun, huh? We could play, but we'd have to use 41 divisions. All right, you have to do what I tell you to do and use auto income method as well as we play the game. Look at your corp, make sure it doesn't have your home address, because if they sue that, they sue you, and that kind of sucks. The goal is not to bring the pain home ever again. If we play, each card you get can daisy chain to another card. I wrote the book on that as well. I've been doing this for 46 years, helping people online earn person as well. So we can daisy chain credit across the board and have some fun. A division has 89 ways to use it and not abuse it. With no intent to do fraud. Getting goodies should be in divisions because you're looking at liability to separate the pieces, just like the banks and the grocery stores in the cities do. Goodies like this. I got to ride with Neil Diamond twice in the Love Ride. Having fun too. So all these goodies here like this should be about $10 million when you get to that number. So understand, I have a radio and TV show we're working on right now and getting ready to launch it nationwide as well. Be kind of fun. So your goal should be literally $1 million of credit cards, up to $5 million of checkbook money. From there, we repackage you here. So then we go get the green card from Unlimited, 100,000 and the two sisters for 30. It's 160 times 9. Is that one card now $1 million? Each division with credit too. Finance the business, write it all off. Bank of America, Wells Fargo. From there, we got Ink card. The next thing we have the gold and platinum card too. So that can be up to $5 million of credit. Then the next step would be checkbook money. Banks will give you up to 150, all right, as long as you have a 2-year division or corporation. So whatever line of credit we get that's unsecured, that's what we're going to use to buy a business and maintain the payment. Now, these are my 5 favorite ones. Ultimate goal as we do this as well. So that can be up to $5.4 million of credit. But again, it's up to you if you want to play the game my way. Because I think your way right now kind of sucks. So buying your next car, by the way, should be a division. See, what happens is like this car. Fleet price, tax ID division. That means if you get in a bumpity bump, they sue the division and not you. Currently in any bumpity bump, because you have 45 bloodsucker attorneys on TV every day saying, I'm number one, and the billboards when you drive down the freeway too. So let's understand. Today, your paycheck is net income, right? Then you're paying the car payment, gas, registration, insurance. I think you should be yelling no right now because you should be driving a company car and riding it all off. Because understand, it's called pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. So if we play this game, and if you get in a bumpity bump at the grocery store, they're going to sue you and take everything you got. My way, when they sue the division, they're going to get diddly squat. Is that okay if we play my way for a while? Because I don't want you to bring the pain home ever again. Is that okay? So understand, if you lose your house or car, don't worry. The creditor is going to report you to the IRS as a 1099-C. So you had now double crappy credit and a bigger mess because you didn't plan the problem. Now, buying a car, when you set up the divisions and everything else in Dun & Bradstreet, and the credit reports a Spear and Tranjo and Equifax, this one they wanted $149,000 too. Well, after I did the fleet price, what I would teach you how to do, they gave it to us for $47,450. We saved a lot of money. It was always under the tax ID. So understand, today you have a problem. You get pulled over today, or you get in a bumpity bump. As highly intelligent as you are, why are you doing something stupid? Okay, your driver's license, registration, insurance. You pull it out and you hand it to a stranger or the Mr. Police person, or with your home address on it. That is the stupidest thing a consumer could do, ever, in their whole life. You gave a stranger where you live. You told the cop that he put it into the system, and now everybody knows where you live. Everybody's hearing it. Why don't you think about P.O. Box mailing address? California uses P.O. Box. From there, Rebecca Schaefer was murdered at her front door, thanks to the DMV. Rebecca was a client. I met her through Robin Williams. He was a client and a friend. Years ago, I met him at the left stop. So let's understand. All right, the DMV sold her home address and he killed her at the front door. God rest her soul. I've had 2 clients murdered because of the DMV, and they should have been sued for $1 zillion for their stupidity. Okay, you've got to stop bringing the pain home. But again, you have to learn how to play the game to win. All right, raise rules. Today, if we were to build corporate credit, we would have that money. It's called borrow money, not taxable. We would take that to invest into a business to buy your lifetime business, real estate or franchise, period. Again, what are you going to do? Have your cake and eat it too. It's the only way to play the game. Your goal is to play to win, and that's raise rules, becoming a certified CFO. So as we're going to play, you're stuck with me from beginning to middle to the end. Tomorrow I have 6 classes, actually 9 classes live with me. Let's pretend I wrote you a check for $1 million. What would you do? I want to buy a house and a car. Stop it. Knock off the crap. You take that $1 million, you basically put in a division of you to the corporation, don't pay any damn tax. You leverage it by reference 3 times 5. You turn it to $15 million, period. You finance your American dream business, and you basically have to pay tax when you have a profit. Grow the business so you're not profitable yet, but have all the goodies at the same time. Kind of like, Bezos, Musk, and all these other people do. Your choice is simple. You could be winning the battle if you wanted to, but it's going to have to be up to you to learn how to play. So I won the lottery. Oh, goody for you. Now what? You're a tax person. Put in your personal account, SSN. I'll call that stupid again. I want you to put in a division of you. Because that person, well, you don't have a tax ID in a corporation. Shut up. You're going to do a division of you to your own corporation with tax ID. What are you going to do? Sit down with the banker. You're going to borrow against that money. You're going to create a debt because basically borrow money offsets taxes. You're going to turn that into millions and billions. Would that be okay? You've had 11 cities file bankruptcy so far. States and cities or corporations, they even created Chapter 9 bankruptcy. And they played to win too. You could have played that way with no intent to do fraud, but your problem is you didn't look behind the damn curtain. That's your own damn fault too. So bankruptcy. Let's look at bankruptcy today. What if we plan the problem and blank hits the fan? SSN, family, and you, or corporation, division, or subsidiary. Who's going to be the duck the next time as we play this game? You've got to learn to win. If I add you to my credit system, I get to rebuild you. What are we going to do? Up to $1 million of cash credit. You go to class, you don't fall on your what, and you actually learn to play, and you learn the steps and rules from me personally too. Isn't that fun? Beat your doubt, run your race. Okay, as we do this, is very simple to do. As we play this game, getting past go, because I believe you're all stuck. Okay, God's gift, the mansions in the harbor, the race boats, the Lamborghinis, helicopters, and buildings too. See, when you lose that car today, you lose that house, what are they going to do? You never put 2 people on the loan for the house. That'd be dumb. You don't create a loan to value problem. You bought the house through the trust in the first place. Cars should be a division. Don't worry when you lose them. Guess what happens? They report it to the IRS as a 1099-C. Now you got a bigger mess. Then the IRS reports it to the state. Bigger mess on top of that too. Every property you get should be a division. Which one's going to slip and fall and sue you and screw you up? I don't know. And put them in divisions. All right, because you don't have a crystal ball, neither do I. Your paycheck is basically offset by what? Your house payment. What do we look at? Amazon didn't pay tax on the first 10 trillion. All right, double billion. All right, now on the 10 billion too. Why would they pay any tax on trillions of dollars? They're allowed to do what they have, and they're basically not, there's no loophole. Again, don't complain about rich and famous people. Shut up and join them. He bought Twitter by using what? Lines of credit. Okay, he didn't have 44 billion in the friggin' bank. Okay, again, he's just jacking it up not to pay tax. But 3 banks give him the money to buy Twitter. One of the greatest dashboards he destroyed in 3 weeks. Twiddly-dee, twiddly-dum. I think he's twiddly-dum. All right, I don't think he's as smart as I am. Shakura's IQ is higher than his, by the way. So what do we get to do? X marks the spot. Kind of dumb, but what do I say? This guy's got a spaceship. Give him a run for his money. So is the other guy. All right, they don't want to go to the moon. Why not? So we could play the game and win that too. But what do we get to do? Join the club, win the battle. See, Apple Computer, remember, I worked for Steve Jobs a long time ago. Apple was in bankruptcy in 97. They're out. They're out of business. Done, 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 done. What happens? Mr. Bill Gates got indicted 4 times. Had to step down as the president of his own company. Even though Microsoft announced 3 weeks ago they're worth $3 trillion now. So what does he do? Well, basically, Bill Gates said, I have to create a competition. If not, the government's going to indict me again. He gave a line of credit, all right, to Apple for $150 million, gave them the checkbook, and made them make their own payments on their line of credit. Isn't that fun? All right, now Apple's worth $3 trillion. So borrow money is not taxable. If you learn how to study, enrich, and play with the rich and famous people too, you can make sure you don't bring the pain home like you do. Simple. It's how it works. Equifax, man, during the pandemic, they were hacked and all screwed up all over the place. All right, what are you going to do? Scores are wrong. And their spokesman for that, this ding dong here, just go back to the bank to refinance your loan. Yeah, 18,000 bucks. You're going to write the damn check, you ding dong. Okay. All right. Take that smirk and smack it off his face. Oh, well, I can't do that. That's the old Ray. So guess what we get to do? We better understand we have to control our own destiny too. Run your life through a corp and in conjunction. We got to play. We got to learn the rules and tools. Today, let's say you have a house. It should have been escrow, closed, homestead, trust. If not, when they sue you, they take it away. Next thing is when you're dead, they family got stuck into probate and they got diddly squat. It's like anything else. When you hire the contractor that stands outside the Home Depot, they get their employees from. What happens next? They want to slip and fall and sue you and screw you up. But if you did it my way, hell, they're going to get diddly squat. I like diddly squat, don't you? Look up the irrevocable trust, please. The goal is to stop bringing the pain home as we play. Now, if you don't file your tax return, I'm going to call you a crook. Go to prison where you belong. That's true. I mean, come on. You can't play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. Wesley Snipes tried. 3 years in prison, $5 million fine. Simple. What do you get to do? Ruin his whole life and career. No peekaboo, the IRS making a mess. Very simple. Richard was on Survivor. He's running around naked twice, almost dies on the show. I told him to reference 3 times 5 to 15 million. His CPA said he keeps 375 and put the rest in the tax. He didn't listen to anybody. He pissed it all away. 3.5 years in federal prison, 10 years probation, and he invited that being stupid, violated that as well. So understand something today. Your goal is, like when I got written up in the newspaper, the Daily Journal said I was basically leveraging too much money or something. This whole article is so negative. See, I created OPM, other people's money, and they didn't like that fact. So this is a 70% discount. All right, you don't pay up to 90 days. Why the hell would I use my money? All right, and what do? We leverage money up to $15 million. All right, and what do? We said borrow money is not taxable. We leverage the money. We set up our line of defense. Isn't that called blackjack? Isn't that how we get to win? And they're putting me down because I'm teaching people how to win. So if you ever wanted a division, I set up the division, the paperwork, the tax ID, and 2,000 of history. All right, set up like another entity of the corp and you. We charge $4.99 at the office, 3 for $14.97. It's very simple. Tonight, if you did it now, I'm giving you 9 of them for $999. All right, now do all the other work for free too. But it is very simple. The discount is during this broadcast, and it's a Zelle only, a Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@racecredit.com. From there, as we play this, if you need my email or you want to use a credit card, call the office right away. 800-254-9506. Say you're on the webinar of Ray, getting 9 divisions for $9.99. But if you don't do it now, it's okay. They'll charge you the normal price. So the goal is to repackage every one of you. All right, like Humpty Dumpty. So I got these specialty classes. There's 8 of them in rotation every Saturday at 8:30. Tomorrow morning, I start at 6 in the morning, all the way to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you want a phone call with me, it's simple. I do 15-minute calls called Q&A. The next thing is I do a blueprint call, takes an hour. Always have your partner life with you too. And then we do this basically coaching programs to build auto income. So the goal is like this. Why didn't you think about profit and nonprofit in conjunction? Why? Because they're giving billions in grant money. You got portholes in all cities are going to give you some money to finance your dream. Grants we know that people got in the last 90 days. So we could play. They might give you a house, a car, and basically a building as well. So if we played this game, we repackage you, then we look at that green card, 160 times what? 9. The B of A times 9. The Wells Fargo times 9. All right, the Inc. times 9. And then the gold times 9. Business cards that don't show up on personal reports. Up to $5 million. The next thing is we go after checkbook money. That's the money you want to use to get into that business, to buy the company and basically have a third party income and someone else running it for you. All right, that's up to 150. These are the 5 favorite ones that I've had for years. Up to $5.4 million of credit to finance the American dream. You write it all off too. Why would you screw up you when you could have rolled the dice as a division and give it a hell of a try? And if that's screwed up, get another one, no intent to do fraud. Why do people do stupid things? I don't understand that. There's no reason to bring the pain home in the first place. So if we look at credit, loan, and money, your corporation is going to be a management company. All right, so money's coming in, the bills are being paid, leverage up to $1.5 million a line of credit. Your division for franchise, your division or apartment complex, you're building a line of defense. That's financial freedom, by the way. And that's how you build auto income on a monthly base. Simple. That's what I always did. If you need $50,000 of credit to you personally or a corporation, national average is 10%. Tonight, I'm giving it away for $29.99. All right, literally to save you a couple $1,000s. If you need $100,000, it's pretty simple. I'm giving you basically, the 50% discount on that. But it's on now. If it's Zelle, up to you. From there, the goal is if you need to use a card or call the office, there's the phone number in front of you, 800-254-9506. And my personal email is ray@rayscredit.com. Now, I had a problem. I got $53 million of credit cards, got them all organized and all my books and everything else. And then they started swinging some limits, scared the crap out of me. What am I going to do? Simple. Under C-191D, I took $50,000 to see if it would work. All right, loaned it to 5 people, $10,000 each. Put a UCC1, homestead blocker, UCC chattel mortgage on their property. Every $50,000 I was creating $2,400 a month. Every $100,000 I was creating $4,133 a month. So I didn't want to lose the card. So what did I do? It's very simple. I created a matrix. Divisions allow you to multiply. Bucket of money book shows you a matrix. Very simple. How I did $190,000 a month. It took me basically 18 months to build this matrix. By the time I was done, the positive cash flow after bills were paid was $190,000 a month to grow the business to million to billion. So you can play too if you want to, but it's up to you. Took 41 divisions to create auto income just off the credit. So all right, we have this coaching program. There are literally only 30 can be in it because I'm going to do 6 calls a day. If I do a blueprint call, past, present, and future, I look at family, corporation, divisions, irrevocable trust, car, house, auto income, and cash flow for your time. I would want your partner of life on the call with you. I charge $9.99 for that 1 hour call. Simple. If you're going to be like me, I want boring businesses. That's all I ever did. All right, from shopping centers to Shakey's and 31 flavors or donut chain, whatever it was. I don't want to run the company. So these are the numbers that work for me. Every $40,000 I would invest, the monthly income was $3,000 to $10,000 a month. Every $100,000, it was $10,000 to $45,000. Every $250,000 is $250,000, $75,000. So if I build you up and away in checkbook money, then we have to target the business you want. Mr. Buffett did auto income. Okay, I believe it's your turn. That's all you need to do and understand how to play. And I'll coach you every step of the way. So Mr. Buffett's got his 100 companies and his favorite 10. You don't see him at See's Candy selling candy or Dairy Queen, do you? But again, what does he do? Third party manages the businesses. He's an investor. Same thing you're allowed to do as well. From there, when you buy a business, I don't want you to run it ever. I watch people that come and go for 46 years. Ray, I want you to build me in the corp and the credit. Thank you, I'm done. Then they go screw it up. If your goal is to work for somebody and then become your own employee, I call that stupid. Most of them fail 87% anyway. So the bottom line is you just transfer stress on top of you. If you own the business, The reality is very simple, third-party management. Our goal is a goal list, checklist, daily, weekly, and a project list. Auto income. The goal is this, very simple. I like storage units. I like dry cleaners. I wrote the book on all these things and laundromats. I like the Wendy's restaurants. All right, Jack in the Box, gas stations, buy apartment and basically parking structures, EV charging, something that I don't have to worry about. When I have my 22,000 payphones and then my ATM machines, the EV charging machines are the same way. They want to go to electric, go for it. But again, what do you get to do? You're doing money, and I like the car wash business as well. Very simple. So when I look at coaching for real estate franchise storage unit, I'm looking at, hey, get in the 6 weeks and get your feet wet, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. So if we're going into a 6-week program, the blueprint calls in there. You're getting $25,000 in cash credit to get your feet wet. Expedited rapid, don't have a corp in 9 divisions. I give you a corp in 9 divisions. And I put you in level 1, 2 and specialty classes for 6 weeks. Now we sell this for $11,000. During this broadcast, all right, I give it for basically $4,999. Now you're stuck with me. See, what happens is you're getting basically $25,000 in credit. That's 5 times your investment anyway. It is a Zelle. Take a picture. Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@raisecredit.com. I have 28 people in coaching. I have only 2 openings right now. So the ultimate goal, there's a phone number, there's an email address as well. As we look at this like a business, and we want to look at the apartment complex. All right, getting buildings and businesses that are existing. This one here is simple. They wanted $3 million. That's 10%, that's 300,000. What do we look to do? All right, now we got an income of 13,452. But to me, I'm always planning the problem. I'm not done yet. You'd probably think you're done. One of those tenants could slip and fall and sue you and take it all away again. So we look at what you're not done. I'd rather have you dissect it and do an assignment of mortgage. Now what happens is 76,800, but understand, you also reverse the liability. They can't sue you now. You can sue them if they don't pay. The ultimate goal, who wants to be the duck? So if we look in coaching, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. All right, the goal should be up to $5 million. But again, that might take a year, it might take 2 years. Depends how fast you do what you're told to do. But the goal is starting to get that auto income. I want to start at 10,000, 50,000 up and away. 3 months, usually line you up. 6 months, you should have your first unit, as long as you did exactly what you're told to do. And then the 12 months should have multiple units. Divisions allow multiple functions. So the goal is to get up to that 50, 100,000 a month. And that's what our ultimate goal is. So what do? We do the phone calls, we do the classes. All right, we do the rapid rescore, and we rebuild you as much as we can. All right, all the way to 750 score. The next thing we want to think about is, okay, how about projections? How about business plans? How about limits? How about we daisy chain credit and increase the limits on cards too? So if you got into a 3 months program, it's $8,000. There's no payments. So if you can't afford one of the 3, 6, or 12 months, forget it. You get into the 6 week, you don't do it at all. It is a paid in full only. Don't do payments anymore. That did not work for us. 3 months coaching. All right, I'm going to build you 150,000 of credit. 6 months is 15,000, and I'm going to build you 300,000 of credit. 12 months is 30,000, and I'm going to build you basically 500,000 of credit. The credit alone would cost more than that. It is a Zelle, bank transfer, wire deposit. Again, very simple to do. Email ray@raisecredit.com or phone number 800-254-9506. Referrals, we build more credit all the time, or we Zelle back 10%. But that person better to say your name when they sign up. If not, they kind of blew it for you. That's why I always give you my personal email address too. Very simple. So we look at what's around us. Bank of America bankrupting 6,000 locations. Chase, US Bank, Wells Fargo, Geico, Citi, Sam's Club. So if we look at what they're doing, why can't we do the same thing with no intent to do fraud? The ultimate goal. So we look at stop bringing the pain home. All right, become a certified CFO. And we try to reprogram our brains to millionaire status. All they know is we have to look behind the curtain and dissect it. It's not easy, like I told you. I don't have a magic wand, but we will work our tail off to get where we need to be. You're stuck with me in the beginning, middle to the end. the ultimate goal. We stay safe, we stay strong, we do our best, Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. At the end of the day, it's pretty simple. So hopefully you learned a little bit today about taking supply, turning into vendor credit as well, balancing the debt a little bit. You can always call 800-254-9506. My ultimate goal tomorrow, my first class is at 6 in the morning. That's my millionaire group, and I got another group for millionaire at 4 to 5, and the ones in between. The goal is to help everybody get to the American dream. We do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And we never forget at the end of the day, God loves us all.